So then we are back with more from the Aramaic English translation of the scriptures, and comes from the Hebraic understanding of the prophetic from the previous covenant and the renewed covenant. Shows areas of the completion of the prophecies, and lots of studies are being performed these days regarding the earth and its future path. It is always valid understanding the viewpoint of the Creator Himself, since He was always the best. He created the heavens and the earth, and He knows, and He gave us records of the future, and the only point we should be concerned with it so far, as per the writings of Yohanan, is the climate change regarding the heat, drought, and famine. Those are the very areas we should be concerned with, because it's going to come then the end of this age. It is related with the renewed covenant until a certain point. We can then make plans in what to do in the future, and what is wise and what not. It is truly a waste of time and money and materials investing in the control of the climate of the planet. It's absolutely at no use, because the reliability of the Hebraic scriptures, it is 100%, whereas people trying to fix a system condemned, they are simply wasting their time. Because from the viewpoint of the Creator, He wants us to be concerned with what's coming, so we then can prepare ourselves in the Spirit, receiving His Holy Son and being obedient in the faith in the level of Gentiles, and then the set apart exercising what they already knew from the previous covenant. So then, when people are asking what is the future of the planet, it is already set in place. It is in a renewed part of the covenant, Revelation. When you read regarding the Megillas and the seals, can absolutely be sure of it, that the heat is going to be the most troublesome in areas, obviously, when there is heat, rising of water levels, and there is absolutely nothing we can do it regarding the fixing of the planet's climate. We should invest in proclaiming the word of Elohim, the true Creator, Yahweh, and be prepared in the Mashiach, because any other action is simply pure stupidity. As much as we want to do our part in terms of helping the planet, it is already condemned. So there is an old saying, when the horse is dead, dismount. So then, when we read Revelation, we should be very concerned with the spiritual understanding and where we should be at. The rest of it is nonsense. People can study cores and climate and computers and trying to make up other areas of sources and fuels. Those areas won't change in terms of what the future has already in place. It's simply a waste of time. We should be wise in developing, but most importantly being saved and solidly grounded in Mashiach. That's what's important. The planet is condemned. And people concerned with their children and grandchildren, they should be concerned with their spiritual standing before the Mashiach. The future of the planet is already set. It's condemned. the Hebraic prophetic understandings of the past, they were 100% precise, and obviously in the future will be 100%. It can't be changed. So then when we read Revelation, then we can read confidently, because Yohanan saw the future. Some say it was concocted, some say it was a fairy tale, some say it was not reliable, some say it was recorded by men. No, people must understand areas of prophetic understanding. We Gentiles don't understand visions. There is a very important distinction from visions and then dreams. The Hebraic people, they had a special, let's say, frequency television direct line from heaven. We don't understand this area because we were never brought up in a Hebraic lifestyle based upon the holy laws of the Creator. But the prophets of old, they had a direct line in themselves with the very heaven where the Creator lives. It's a third heaven. So then we have no clue of what went on during the time of Yohanan. We know for sure he was not on the island when he received the revelations, because visions were only given in the camps. And we don't understand the spiritual direct line from the prophets and heaven. But we know for sure the actual vision was the actual future shown. As if you could have a machine that would transport you in the future. It's not an obscure vision of areas that you can't explain. He saw, in fact, the very future. It's very scary when a person analyzes and then begins to understand what it means, visions. If you were living then in the 50s, and then you would be watching a movie from the 80s, for instance. This is what Yohanan saw. As if he was living during the time around the hundreds after the ascension of the Messiah. He saw the actual movie of the end of the world. He was not spoken while the movie was playing. He had to record as he saw. So he had to make a relation with the most popular areas that he was involved in. For instance, atomic bomb as a flying burning lamp. And then many other areas as he was then describing. Because he had to use the animals of the time and some sort of a representation that would give the future an understanding in the spirit, not in a mind level. Mind level is where the soul reacts. And the soul, we have the intellectual, the capacity of gathering information. But there is not a link reciprocal with the spirit. From the spirit is only a way information transfer. So then when we read Revelation, understanding before we enter in Revelation, it starts with minimum of 12 layers of spiritual understanding. And those spiritual understanding then develops in the physical era that we are then studying, Revelation. But then transfers in the physical. So then the Creator then related precisely in the movie what Yohanan saw. You may want to believe it, You may not want to believe it. That's your problem. However, the reliability of the prophetic, it is 100%. Far precise than any computer ever invented. Because they were dealing with the data from the Creator Himself. You can't go any higher. So then he stated high temperatures, famine, drought, and then rising of the sea levels. He does not relate fix the weather, create computers, change the fuel type, or find ways of cleaning the weather. He does not state any of it. So it is an absolutely waste of time, materials, money, going ahead and doing these stupid projects. It makes no sense. The most importantly is proclaiming the word of the Messiah. The world is condemned. Much more coming up.